I'm gonna call them ILF. But what do you think their pamphlets say?
I think it's like one of those like things where it's like you just want a free vacation. You know what I mean? You want a raffle.
You're tired of your home. Now you can go somewhere else.
10% down. I mean, your house is 100% down. It's completely ground level.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was just thinking about all that stuff, right?
About Palestine and Israel, and
it's just it can be such a bummer.
Oh, that's all a bummer.
It's such a
There's
bummer.
nothing happy about it.
But you know what gets me through?
What's that?
You know how it helps? Every time I'm getting down on Israel, Modest Yahoo,
yeah.
One day.
Hey, I get it. Orthodox Jewish reggae hip hop. That's a good time.
I mean, sometimes in my tears I drown.
Yeah. Hey.
But I never let it get me down.
I wish I had listened to Modest Yahoo recently. It's been a few years. I won't lie.
What's funny is when on Spotify, when you just look up one song and you hit play, it just keeps playing it.
That's
what's been.
Just then it's a specific Modest Yahoo song.
Just one day.
Yeah.
One
day.
Over and over and over again. It feels like it helps.
My introduction to Modest Yahoo was through the Christian nu metal band POD.
Oh, I've seen POD.
Yeah. I don't know why they're
associated,
but they are. And
obviously, it's because they both rule.
Yeah.
And they allow faith above all else.
Yeah. POD praised at their shows, right? Yeah.
They did all the hits when I saw them.
What did they do? Just Youth of a Nation for 3 hours?
I've been listening to One Day for 3 hours straight. Yeah, I saw POD, Alien Ant Farm, and Lit on 4th of July. And I met a girl named America that night.
Wow.
It was really cool.
That's peak existence right there.
It really was. Yeah, I think Trump was president. It was great.
Wow.
Did I tell you about our sponsor?
We have a sponsor.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So it's called TNT.
Okay.
And it's a lot like like the wireless AT&T.
Yeah.
But this is just, we dropped the A.
Yeah.
It's just TNT.
Just TNT.
And when they only work in pagers.
Wow. Only in Lebanon, Lebanese pagers.
TNT brought to you by Slaughterhouse Studios.
Yeah.
Or sponsor. Yeah. Slaughterhouse Studios brought to you by TNT.
Yeah.
Connect to your friends. Connect to your enemies. I guess pagers aren't that hard to build, you know.
No, and it's not like the American embassy or whatever, the hospital in Beirut made all their employees change out their pagers a few months before. It's not like that happened. So
no, well, I'm hoping we get one of those contracts.
There'll be a roadcaster with a bomb in it someday, I'm sure.
That's how they go after podcasters.
Yeah, it's gonna. I mean, it might happen.
It is the podcast election.
Yeah, I mean that's where I've said it before. So I mean, I think that's definitely where we're headed. I think that's the next election, even more so, will be like
we're looking down.
I bet you next election there is a debate on Rogan.
On Rogan, I think Rogan shot his shot because he just had Trump on.
I don't know. He said it in the Trump one that he's actively still trying to get Kamala Harris to come on.
Now, do you think that as of right now, Kamala hasn't been on?
No.
But do you think that conversation would be cool? Because I do. I think it would be very funny.
It would be funny. That's about it.
And same thing with the way it was with Trump, dude.
Yeah.
Trump was so into trying to be like, and you know a thing or two about bullies, huh? Because you beat up a few bullies.
Yeah.
Am I right, Rogan? You're a strong guy.
Yeah. He does do that. Compliments the person and tries to like tell them how good they are, so it win him over to his side.
100%.
Yeah.
He's like, Rogan, you know how I'm doing this with you? She could never do this.
Yeah.
She could never do this.
She'd call the medics in.
Yeah.
She'd be lying on the floor and she'd call the medics in.
Yeah, I thought that was so. It was honestly a little boring.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy it that much.
Yeah.
I was hoping for, Rogan, you wouldn't believe it. Aliens killed JFK.
Yeah.
But even like when Rogan would ask a juicy question, Trump would do his fucking...
Just does the fucking, as he calls it, the weave.
Yeah. Speaking of the weave, I did like that they brought up Oprah.
Yeah. The weave. She is the weave.
But Kamala being on, I think, would be at least like giving more of an appearance of unbiased.
Yeah.
There was a few moments that I was like, Rogan, if Kamala had said some wild shit like Trump just did on your podcast, you'd call her out. There's a few, and I know why he didn't, because obviously he wants to have a good relationship. He wanted the conversation to go 3 hours, and you can't if you 2 minutes into the podcast.
You finished it?
No, I tuned out, dude. I couldn't. It wasn't that juicy.
So what do you think he should have called him out on?
Like right in the beginning when he is saying things about the greatest economy ever. Like when he says something like that, I want him to be like, okay, but do you have any metric to say that?
Yeah.
Because if somebody on the podcast says Trump is the worst president ever, Rogan would push that back and be like, you don't have the proof to show the worst president ever.
Yeah.
But when Trump says he is the greatest president ever, Rogan's like, well, I bet you do think that.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just he didn't, I guess, push him, which I get why.
Yeah.
How could you? I mean, it would be
he did kind of try and push him on the neocon thing. I don't know if you got there.
Yes, for sure.
But there was something where I was like, why? Now I can't remember what it was.
But that's something that Trump will claim, and like it's not like that's not a thing that we didn't already know.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like he has been the anti.
Well, he
typical
asked him,
conservative Republican.
But the thing is, like, well, then why did you hire them?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he did kind of push him on that a little bit, but
it was funny. What did the answer where Trump was? In my opinion, Trump pretty much just said like,
people were scared of John Bolton. You should have seen how they acted when they realized he was with me, and it made negotiating easier. Yeah.
That. I mean, it also
so this
just
guy's a nut job, and they know it.
Exactly. Yeah. It was like he just asked what other people felt about this guy.
Yeah.
Which is how
that maybe he got like he asked like maybe a Sagar and Crystal Ball for help with his questions?
No,
you think those are all his questions 100%?
Yeah, I thought it was funny that the first like 20-30 minutes they're discussing whether Trump, what his feelings were like when he first got into office.
Yeah.
Right? And he keeps telling the story piece for piece, and he constantly is giving measurements.
Yeah.
He multiple times he was like, in the bed, so long.
About
the hallways,
bed.
incredibly wide. And then the chairs, pretty short.
Yeah.
Not actually that far from the ground. Yeah. Like he's constantly like giving measurements of shit, which I found like none of that is a feeling.
Right.
Rogan has asked you 3 times now. Yeah. How did you feel?
I think
and
maybe
he
that
keeps
was
going,
him trying to see like, because if I know what Rogan was looking for, he wanted to know like,
did they put him in a room?
Yeah, exactly. But he couldn't ask that.
Yeah.
So I think maybe that was like a feeling out of like, where can we go during this conversation? Because he's either going to know what I'm trying to ask and he's going to go there.
Yeah.
Or he's not going to know, or he is going to know, and he's just going to choose to describe the Lincoln bedroom for 20 minutes.
I know. It felt a little like when Putin was being interviewed and he decided to give a history on the thing, and it was like, okay, but that wasn't really the question.
I mean,
it was just funny because it was like a very long-winded answer that wasn't.
The Putin one made more sense though than what Trump, because at least he was breaking down the history of Russia and Ukraine.
Totally.
Trump was just like the Lincoln bedroom. Yeah, like. All right.
What do you thread think about, count, you wouldn't believe it. The thread count, it was incredible. It was that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Where he seemed to be obsessed with numbers.
Well, I'm sure he is.
It is weird that he really is. But that's a business guy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I thought it was funny when he was like, look, I'm from New York.
Yeah.
I don't know things about D.C.
Yeah.
So when I got to D.C.
That was his reason for hiring the wrong people.
Yeah. He's just like, I've never been there before. Oh, sure, I've been there 12 times, but I'd never stayed the night.
Yeah. What does that mean?
Exactly, dude. It was all very funny.
Yeah.
And I mean, it could have been an awful interview You know, like I did think there were moments where they were riffing.
Yeah.
If that is even possible. With
he definitely did enough podcasts, I feel like, to get.
Oh, he did the latter, dude.
To get the
he warmed up to it. He did the
rhythm of a podcast, like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, he learned how to. Yeah.
I think the fact that Kamala Harris is also doing specifically podcasts, like, is very fascinating because they've both waited until the end. And is this our October surprise? Is that podcasts?
I feel like something. I don't know. I feel like something's gonna happen. But did you see a couple of things about Kamala too? Did you see the thing with her and Anderson Cooper, where
Anderson Cooper,
descendant of the Vanderbilts, but they're doing like a town hall thing, and he was asking her about how you called the border wall stupid. A stupid project.
Oh, yes.
And then she was like, well, yeah, but he didn't finish it. And he was like, so you think that your problem is that he didn't finish the wall that you said is stupid?
Yes.
Like, what are you talking about, lady? Like,
yeah.
But you know what it is? It's because she can't say either one because she knows that there is a problem. But if she says we need a border wall, she's going to lose a certain amount of votes that she desperately needs.
She's somehow trying to out right-wing Trump.
Oh, yeah, which is very weird.
Insane.
Yeah.
If you would have told me.
While also being like this fake woke.
Oh, like, exactly. Yeah. If you would have told me in 2020, all the Democrats will be explaining why they are like the better border control people instead of where it was like, oh, all of them should be able to just come in and get citizenship.
Well, the next day she said that she was an advocate for giving them all citizenship that were already here. So it's like you don't even know what your positions are.
Oh, no. What was really fun about that specific moment, too, is just in the question, she shifts.
Oh, yeah.
In her answer, she is going, I know, how dumb is he, thinking that he could have done that.
But
he was such an idiot. Do you remember when he said, they were going to build it?
And she waited for a laugh that didn't come.
Do you remember when he said that? How silly was he?
Yeah.
But now, I do think this build it.
Or like, okay, so there's another one that, this wasn't necessarily about her, but they had like they're having a panel with a bunch of, I guess, abortion doctors. And someone in the
okay, so you're an arborist when you work with trees.
What are you when you're? Don't ask me.
You're a sinner.
You are going to hell. No.
You're a pretty cool chick.
There's she had like a panel of abortion doctors, and they were all like in their lab coats and stuff, and
really?
Someone in the crowd had a seizure.
Nuh-uh.
And they were like, we need a medical doctor. And none of them.
Nuh-uh.
I'm dead serious. They were like they looked like they were about to start yelling, we need a doctor too, dude.
Look, if you need me to kill something, I can do that.
Yeah, if you want me to commit a little murder.
But you want me to keep it alive. I have no clue.
I have no experience in keeping things alive.
That's not what we do.
Yeah.
We're here to take out the most vulnerable.
Yeah. Yeah. We're here to rip them apart. You know what I mean?
Send them to God.
Send them to God. Yeah.
That is wild. I love the idea of a bunch of doctors saying, is there a doctor in the house?
Yeah.
Especially when they're probably answering medical questions.
I think she's going to do
a live abortion.
That's what they should do. They should do the day before the election. They should do a live abortion. From the Oval Office.
Planned Parenthood podcast.
Yeah. Don't call me daddy. What was I gonna say? Oh, she's gonna do Club Shay Shay, supposedly.
I think she already did.
Yeah, I mean, but like they announced, like I think maybe that's what she's gonna do instead of Rogan. Yeah.
That's not the same.
No, it's not. But I mean, it is pretty big.
Yeah. The fact that they are doing podcasts is huge.
Now, how much of the Rogan and Trump thing do you think was edited?
Oh, edited?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think he agrees to it if they tell him they have to let him edit it the way they want. How much of Carmela? How much of Kamala's, whatever her fucking name is, how much of her interviews do you think are edited?
Kamala,
thank you. I have to remember it's Kamala.
You got to shake your head a little.
Yeah, you gotta get the, you gotta get the bob just right.
I think I know that Rogan does not like editing his stuff, but I also agree that he is not afraid to.
Yeah,
Like they open with him saying we can't play this clip from The View,
right,
because we'll get copyright or whatever.
Yeah.
So all the time he'll take pauses, whether it's for the bathroom or
yeah.
And I can see,
But I guess I specifically mean like cutting this part out because it wasn't necessarily something they wanted to talk about, or like in the example of 60 Minutes where Kamala Harris gave such a horrible answer that made no sense that they had to completely take that out and put in a different answer from somewhere else just so that it made a little bit of sense.
They did that?
Yeah, they did.
That is insane.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Yeah, I can't believe that because it just sucks that the people are so bad at giving a normal answer. You can tell everything is so prepared.
Yeah. Well,
even the people who defend Kamala for her or give her praise for her performances, all of them will acknowledge they are only good performances when she's well versed and well practiced on the subject. Like when she goes into the debate, she's well prepped and her prep is focused, and she's got an entire team dedicated to it, and she's going into this with or all of the speeches. She can crush those speeches because they're prepared and she can practice them and all those things. And I do think she's good at those.
Yeah.
And then when it's like a off the cuff kind of like question, you know what it is? I forgot who said it, but it might be Tim Dillon. But he said the way she laughs sometimes is like somebody who just hit your car and is trying to play it off. She's
that makes sense.
It's like, oh, come on, that wasn't a big deal, right?
Yeah,
we're fine.
Let's see if this is it. So, it's fucking, all right. I don't want to hear Donald Trump.
Yeah, it is very fascinating.
Here we go.
I want to. Do you think a podcast with the two of them would be good?
No.
It seems that
all right. So
the controversy was born after the same question from 60 Minutes correspondent Bill Whitaker was attributed to different published responses from Harris.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
Well, Bill, the work that we have done has resulted in a number of movements in that region by Israel that were very much prompted by or a result of many things, including our advocacy for what needs to happen in the region.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu
So this is the edit.
Listening.
We're not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end.
For 2 weeks, 60 Minutes declined to...
And they've admitted it now that they did that.
Wow. Do you think... I was just listening to somebody say how, like, everything we know is based off of a history that was told by the people who won.
Yeah.
So who knows if we're even looking at a version of history that was like that?
Yeah, I don't think we are.
Or you mean it wouldn't be surprising?
Yeah. No, I mean, I think there's obviously some things that are, this is how it happened, but everything is going to be twisted by the victor.
Isn't it wild?
I mean, think about and this is because I've been watching season 2 of Ancient Apocalypse, but like there was a culture here. You know what I mean? Like there was, like when they talk about the cities that they were finding in the Amazon,
yeah,
and then when they came back and they were just gone because of disease and because they wiped everybody out, like
yeah,
and they've just never, like, they've never looked at that archaeologically. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
They've just the amount of culture and like town, like not towns, but like maybe even cities, pueblos, yeah. You know what I mean? That like was probably all over America, and like rituals, like areas that they probably had these huge like mounds, and like the snake mound. You know what I mean? Like that, there was like 1 million of them.
The serpent.
And now there's like maybe 100,000, and most of them are ruined.
Yeah, especially because
but our government just wiped all that shit out.
Yes,
and
totally.
We have no idea. And now they find stuff for like, because they used to think that like,
You know what it reminds me of?
Yeah.
You know when you drive down a part of town that's been completely renovated?
Yeah.
It's like you guys have no clue.
Oh yeah.
The shitty pizza place that was there because it got completely knocked down and now there's an apartment there.
Yeah.
Or you have no clue about how bad the road used to be.
Yeah.
Because it was like half of the sections were dirt.
Right.
And like it was so small, but now that everything's so big and large and built, this is all you've ever known.
Yeah.
So you're totally right. Where like if you just level something and build something on top of it, you're not even going to know there was something down there.
Yeah.
Cheeseman
Yeah,
is like
yeah.
a great example. Isn't that a fucking cemetery?
Is it?
Yeah, all of Cheeseman Park is built on a burial ground.
I didn't know that.
That's why it's there. Is like they've tried to preserve it and they can't build anything.
That's crazy.
And it was built in like the 80s or the
Sketch.
pavilion was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that one is sketchy because it is like everybody's just on.
Or it's
Playing around
It's
on
like okay, so I think one thing that I think has happened is wow. I didn't know that.
I know, isn't that crazy?
But like I think one thing, like for example, the Victor writes the story or whatever, like after World War II, like we don't really pay attention to all the things that Stalin did.
Yes.
Even though he killed just as many people as Hitler did, if not more.
Yeah, and
the same kind of people for the same reasons.
also his own.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
he killed Jews because they were Jews. I mean, that was a big thing in the Communist Party because the Jews were the bankers. You know what I mean? So, but because we're on the same side, we kind of like
Not highlight that part.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
I totally agree. There's also the fact that nobody discusses we're the only people to drop a nuke.
Yeah.
It's probably the most horrifying thing that's
Yeah.
ever been done.
It's its own Holocaust.
It really, dude, 2 innocent civilians. We talk about how intense it is to hurt civilians.
Yeah.
I mean, thousands of people were completely incinerated.
Yeah.
And it was hey, stop that.
Yeah.
And if you keep going,
And it wasn't even a.
and we're the only ones that are allowed to do it.
Yeah.
Other people even having a nuke, we're like, hey, no.
When you actually look into that, like the history of all that, it wasn't necessarily like a hey, stop that. It was we need to drop this so it looks like we ended it before Russia does, because Russia was invading Japan already. Like there was no chance Japan.
Totally. I knew they were toast.
Yeah.
But there was
Russia
no
already
finish,
in the
right?
process of conquering Japan, like
Yeah.
parts of Japan, to the point where like they were kind of like at their last. They were gonna surrender.
Were they? Because that's the thing is the Japanese would never surrender.
I think they were.
Unless,
Yeah.
or at least that's the justification. That's the story.
Yeah, but they didn't want Russia to be the ones to.
Walk away.
Yeah, because then they
With
would
the
have
W.
stopped the Nazis and Japan.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
The ultimate.
So that's what I've heard. I've read things like that was part of like we can just end it now. and yeah, I mean, one
It
of
is
them was
pretty
like
sweet to have the other team carry the ball all the way to the goal, and then you just
blow up the whole
alley-oop it
stadium.
in.
Yeah. Yeah.
But also with like the heaviest hammer.
Yeah.
That's the thing is like, if anybody should be looked at in the global scale of like, maybe you shouldn't have those.
Yeah.
It's maybe the people that have used them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like if there was a group that was like, hey, maybe you guys shouldn't have those.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the people that have never done one. It would be the people that
But
dropped
we're responsible with them.
Yeah. It's so funny to me that like that doesn't get brought up at all.
Yeah, because no one else has ever. They've had them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like we are the only ones that are reckless enough to do that shit, and then we look at everybody else with like how dare you even arm yourself with one of those?
Yeah.
And if anything, the globe should be looking at us like, hey, maybe the fucking redneck retards should not be having nuclear weapons, especially at the pile we have. You know what I mean? It's not even like we have like 4. It's like we have like an arsenal.
Russia has more than we do.
But what a silly game then at that point.
Yeah.
We're just literally piling more. And who knows if it's a real number. It's one of those things where it's like you could just be saying, like one person could just erase the number 72 and just write 89 and be like, actually.
Yeah.
we're crushing you guys.
Yeah.
It's not like Russia's able to look at our stock and be like, all right, they were telling the truth. Their inventory checks
True.
out.
I mean, there's obviously secret weapons programs and stuff.
Yeah, we've got aliens, dude.
You know what I heard? Who was it? It was probably Sam Tripoli that was saying it. But he was saying that.
What a fun option, too, that Rogan had Sam Tripoli the day he
Yeah, if
dropped
anyone
Trump.
doesn't think that that's on purpose, I feel like that's on purpose.
It's got to be, right?
The same day you had the presidential candidate.
You have
had
the
a guy-
most
the guy
conspiracy.
who makes his whole living talking about reptilians. Like,
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's on purpose.
made
But he
me
was
so
saying
happy.
that he thinks that the actual head of like all these intelligence communities, and whoever he's had on his shows told him this, but like even like when you talk about foreign intelligence agencies is NASA. And he was saying because it's kind of interesting that whenever, and it's true, how come we can work together at the space station?
That we can. Oh, that all the countries work
Yeah.
together for that?
You know what I mean? Like, and then
I don't know. Isn't that what Space Force is all about, though?
Space Force is defending.
That's what I'm saying, is that like we're looking at this as the next spot we're going to be fighting?
Yeah. But I think it's almost like it's like CIA, FBI. Like it's just a different thing, or CIA, NSA.
It's its own branch, is what you're saying.
It's just like different thing.
But I think it's more like Army, Navy, Air Force.
Exactly. Yeah,
That's a
Where
branch of the
NASA is
military.
more intelligence.
Totally.
Yeah.
Especially the fact that all the technology
Right.
comes from NASA.
Yeah.
The fact that NASA and the military are so closely associated. But hasn't NASA's funding just been nothing but cut?
I have no idea. It's not something I pay attention to.
Yeah, from my understanding, the space program has received significantly less.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they don't have a Nazi at the head anymore.
Yeah, so you don't need to give them money. Yeah, they're
Not
getting-
as much.
They're not getting anything done anyway without a Nazi in charge.
Oh, let's see what I have written down. I've got some fun things.
Do you have a lighter?
Big time. Do you think it's corny to like Fish?
To like fish?
Yeah, the band.
Has someone told you this? Is someone making you feel like you're getting a little corny?
No, I feel like
Your punk, the punk in you is
it's the poser
asking
fears.
Okay.
I'm afraid of repping something. I have a lot of merch for somebody who went to their first concert this year.
Yeah. You don't say it.
And it sucks when people try to bond with me over it because I wish I could even.
Because there's things that like you might know the songs.
I don't
There's
even
things
know
that people bring up. You're like, I don't really.
all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like every Fish conversation because
I felt
everyone's
like that when I
association.
started listening to them.
Everybody's association is different, and yeah, I mean, I'm sure I don't know. I feel that way about a lot of things before I get into them.
Unless like there is a level of it where it gets corny.
It feels like, but I feel that way
You
about.
just like the music.
Yeah.
Like there, I think
It makes me so happy.
I think the corny part of it is the people who, I think it's almost a majority of them who actually don't give a fuck about the music. They're just there to get fucked up.
Yeah.
I think that shit's corny. You know what I
Yeah, that is for sure.
mean? Yeah.
Well, I went
They're not there because they like Fish. They're there because it sounds cool to follow a band. Like
or there's drugs in the
like their
parking
uncles
lot.
Did Grateful Dead, and now they're
Yeah.
doing it. Which rest in peace, Phil Lesh.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Speaking of the dead.
Mm-hmm. Gratefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is kind of the end of an era.
Yeah.
I do think as someone who has always been a fan of the dead, it is a bummer. I mean, look at this. I wasn't lucky enough to see Jerry, but I got here as soon as I could.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I feel about Fish.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah, it's fun.
I-
I think
I wasn't.
I mean, you do have more. The more I look around, I see more merch.
It's getting gross, huh?
I mean, as long as you don't like start knowing about like you remember when Kellen was here and he could break down the different eras.
Yeah.
As long as you don't start doing that, you know what I mean? Or like do you check the set list every night?
Not every night.
But you do. Occasionally, you find yourself seeing what they play tonight.
No.
Oh, okay.
But I do find the stats interesting. I
It
do
is
find
interesting.
myself going through the website of like, oh, well, this is the first time they played this. Interesting. The album didn't come out until
I think the difference between
86. So the fact that they played it first in 72.
so there has to be a difference between a poser and someone who actually is, because you're actually interested in it.
Yeah.
It's not like you're doing it because everyone loves Fish.
And I do think my generation of Fish fandom is the biggest. The fact that I think the level of Fish fans, it was like a very insulated thing for a very long time, and now it's very open.
Yeah.
Now it's like how the Dead was very open forever. People have always known about them. I think Fish was like the ICP of that stuff. Unless you were into it, you're not into it.
100%.
And the people who are into it were super fucking into it.
Yeah.
And there's been with this generation that I am getting into them, and like the people that are like, mostly it's the children of Fish fans.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
I think of a poser, like, okay, like I was a very big Tech Nine fan growing up.
Yeah.
And then when Tech Nine did a song with Lil Wayne, all of a sudden there's all these dudes who've never liked Tech Nine, never been interested in anything he's done. And now they're like, oh, Tech Nine's fucking sick, dude. He's fucking. It's like, to me, that's a fucking. You just like him because he did a song with Lil Wayne now.
Yeah.
And now he's cool.
Yeah.
That's a poser. Whereas me, like, I was listening to Tech Nine when it was like, oh, you're a fucking retarded juggalo, you fucking gay ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's how you got treated because you listen to Tech Nine. Like,
Yeah. When it wasn't cool.
yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's like fucking kids that wear baggy pants. Like those like really giant emo baggy pants are so in now. Jenko jeans and shit. But anybody wearing that 10 years ago would have been garbaged.
I don't know. Almost every girl I dated wore those. I think down to it, the T.
Yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah, dude.
Those girls are the best though.
They are.
Yeah.
This is true.
When we were young just happened. The big festival. Where it's
all the emo bands. Yeah.
I love emo music, even though like it's hard to listen to as an adult.
Yeah.
It's like any sitcom that has teenagers in it.
Yeah.
Me and Laura were just watching something. It was like Scream, the horror movie.
Yeah,
but it's teenagers having sex constantly in horror films. Like all of them. It's like teenagers licking on each other, and busting their titties out and shit. And
Yuck.
It is horrifying, right?
It's horrifying, dude. It's not what I want to see.
I just want to see like
Yeah.
horror films or mid-30s. What would a mid-30s horror film be, actually? That's kind of funny.
A mid-30s horror film.
It's like your condo tenants next to you, or like
your bank account is negative $530 and you don't know why. Because you went to Taco Bell last night, you know?
It's like instead of like a going camping in the woods kind of story, it's just going to a class reunion.
Yeah, that's. I don't think I'll ever have a class reunion. Have you ever gotten a class reunion thing?
No, I haven't, but I bet you there will be. I'm about to hit.
I graduated in 2012. I've never gotten because I graduated from a bad kids high school.
True, they probably imagine most of you guys are meeting back up in jail.
Probably don't. Oh yeah, that's probably what it is. That's probably what it is. Some of them for sure. No doubt, some of them are for sure in prison.
It would be funny if it was like in the obituary section, because that's where you would typically look to find your friends. Oh, and anybody that's still around from 2012, class of.
There was
a ton of dorks in my school, though.
Ton of dorks. Yeah, I mean,
I went to a school that was IB, the International Baccalaureate.
I don't know what that means. What does baccalaureate mean?
Baccalaureate.
Oh.
It's like a bachelor's.
Oh, okay.
It's like a bachelor's program, which is like
for high school.
Cool guys.
You went to that for
Bunch
high
of
school
bachelors.
or after high school?
That's such a funny. A bachelor's degree is like just really good at fucking chicks. I'm a bachelor.
Yeah, I'm just really good at
But that's what they call a degree.
hiding my loneliness.
That's so funny. Because that's what they call like a degree from college, a bachelor's degree.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Wow, I'm gonna write a joke about that one.
You should. That'll be in your closer.
Yeah, we got a bunch of college educated
Got any bachelors
whites.
in here? Can I get some hands raised? Are you cut?
Well, we got a bad batch here.
Do you think? Okay, maybe I shouldn't say this because I want to do it.
What were we going before?
Oh yeah, let's not. Fuck. School reunions. Most of the people from my school are in prison or dead. You went to school with a bunch of dorks.
IB.
IB.
It was this whole program of extremely, like, it was supposed to be a streamline to a college degree.
Okay.
So you're supposed to graduate with a college thing already in your pocket.
Yeah.
And it was super high level. Like, the kids were always stressed out. It was like 3 times the amount of work that the normal kids were doing.
Yeah.
And the school we were at was very ghetto. Like, it was rough.
Yeah.
So it was literally like this mix of extremely highly funded rich kids and extremely poor.
Yeah.
Like, just all around. Like, it wasn't even like just like black. It would be like a ton of Spanish, a ton of air. Like, it was like a really diverse school.
Yeah.
Except for the IB program.
Oh, damn.
And it was just so wild to have those kids that were like clearly
Storky white kids.
Yeah, but even their parents were stressing them out. I mean, they were worried about being a lawyer in 9th grade.
Yeah.
That
That's
kind of
crazy.
shit. They were thinking they would be president.
Yeah.
And so that's why
those kids always sucked.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And that's why my school will have the reunions.
Okay.
It's because those kids gave a shit about
So
that.
do you only get reunions from the school you graduated from?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I went to 3 different schools. The first
I
school
think it's
went
the
to
year you
was-
graduate.
The first school I went to, and I graduated a year late. But
But to be fair, it's not from the school.
yeah.
It's from like a group of the like kids.
Oh yeah, no one's doing that. Yeah. There's no one that I graduated with who's doing that.
Putting in the time to organize everybody. And
So the first school I went to was like poor white trash in Arvada, where everyone fought every day.
yeah.
And then I started
Like
dating
super sketch.
sometimes I mean,
Did your parents feel bad about having to send you there?
no?
Or it just was
That's
that's
just
what
where the school. I mean, not like super sketch, but I mean, it was like the kids that I hung out with. Like we were getting in fights every day. Like,
Yeah.
like bad fights.
Really?
And then by the end of freshman year, like some of them were selling drugs and like. But then I started.
It's crazy
dating
at
this girl.
that age, dude.
Yeah.
What were you, 13?
Yeah, freshman in high school. Yeah,
And
I
you're-
remember when a kid snitched on everybody, dude,
For fighting?
for drugs.
Oh,
And I
God.
remember when all my friends thought they were gonna. Someone did get in trouble. I remember the police having to take the kid from the class, the kid that snitched, and walk him to his parents' car because he was gonna fucking
Witness
get his,
protection, pretty much.
yeah, he was gonna get his ass fucking beat, and everybody knew it. I remember it clear as day, dude, like watching him walk with the cops and everyone being
Yeah,
like,
you can't rat.
so lucky, dude. You were fucking so lucky. But I remember,
You
a
were
kid-
so lucky.
dude. He would have gotten the fucking.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I've seen people get the fucking shit beat out of them.
Yeah.
I've seen kids get
See,
beat
but-
up with fucking like fill up a bandana with batteries and razor blades and fucking bang someone over the head with it, dude. Like, but then I started dating this girl, and she went to another.
Was this in the hallway?
No. Yeah, this is hallways outside.
God
Smoker
damn.
Street.
It's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
prison,
yeah.
dude.
It was
do it in the
intense,
yard,
dude.
do
Yeah,
it
yeah.
in the gym,
It was
do it in the
intense.
workout.
Then they just didn't give a
The
fuck.
showers.
Yeah. But then I went to another school. I went to Arvada West because I started dating this girl that went there. And
So you went there?
I went there immediately.
That's
I was
awesome.
like, fuck it. And they were Arvada West is the school I went to second.
Nothing has changed.
So rich.
You're so-
Yeah, no, it's bad. It's really bad. It's a problem.
That's so funny.
It's bad. And those were all super rich preppy kids.
Yeah.
So it's like the exact opposite.
And you could see how
I fucking hated it so much.
different they treat each other and how
treated
they're
me, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I was this poor kid.
yeah.
But her mom got a job in Durango, literally within like 4 months of me moving to this school. And they moved to Durango before the school year was.
That's the
so
one
I-
that
Yeah.
you went to go see.
Well, I met up with her for that at the festival, and she fucking acted like she didn't remember me and shit.
Yeah,
half the
yeah,
shit we
yeah.
did. So she moved to Durango, and then I was just at this shitty high school. Well, I mean,
Stuck.
yeah,
'Cause
And that
you
is where
transferred
that
for
is
the
where
Bay.
yeah, and that is where I met my ex-wife.
Oh my God. No.
Yeah. Well, I guess I met her at youth group, but she went to A West, and that's when I started hanging out with her a lot.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that put you on the trajectory
Yeah,
to
for sure.
eventually.
For sure. Yeah, but then I started ditching class all the time and not going to any classes to the point where truant officers came to my house.
Really?
Yeah, and they were like, "You either are going to go to school or you're going to get kicked out."
No shit.
And I didn't drop out. I went to McLean High School.
Yeah. The bad delinquent school.
Yeah, because there you only you had a certain amount of times you could miss, and then they kicked you out, and then you could come back the next quarter. And yeah, dude. And
It's like probate, dude.
so listen to this. It is like that. It is 100%. But the teachers there give a fuck. Because there are some things where I just like. I never had a teacher like sit down and explain geometry to me
Totally.
in a way that like.
Take the time.
And then finally there I had a teacher who was like, "Nah, dude, it's just like, you know." And I remember the day where I was like, I can't believe I fucking understand this now. And if I had just understood this 3 years ago, like,
Wow.
but.
Dude, if that story doesn't, that's crazy. There's so many children
Yeah.
that really do not get to learn
Yeah.
until somebody clearly cares enough to be like, no, you can do this.
Yeah.
Just do this, and it's like a focused explanation. Wow.
So listen to this. So
And it takes those schools to really do that.
So I was doing great. I was passing all my classes, but I had, and the semester was almost up. So like your absence tally resets.
Yeah.
Right. And I think I had one more day that I couldn't miss, but the only exception they gave you was if you had a court date. Okay.
So
I had this day where the bus decided not to let me on the bus, and like me and my homie, we ran down. We were there, and she shut the door on us and like started driving, and I fucking was running alongside the bus,
chasing it down.
Yeah, and she fucking waved me off,
Flagged it,
and I punched the door, and it shattered the fucking glass in the door. And later on, I got a ticket for that, so I had to go to court for that. And so I thought I was gonna be good, dude. I showed them the court date.
You're like, hey, no, actually, I got this get out of jail free card.
But listen, it was on 420, so I thought I was good, dude. Like, I woke up, I went to court, I was at court. Like, school was like from like 8 o'clock to like 1:30 or something like that. That day, because they knew that kids were gonna ditch, but it was like a because
it's 420.
You know how sometimes you would have all your classes, and then other days you would have like 3 classes, but they were hour and a half each.
Yeah,
it was like one of those days,
a midget day.
Yeah, so I wasn't gonna ride the bus there, and I remember. But so anyway, I thought I was fine, dude.
Yeah, you had
I didn't
court.
think I was gonna get kicked out of school, and the next day I went to school, dude, and they called
like,
me in
"What
the
are you
office,
doing here?"
They're like. You're done. And I was like, what do you mean? I have a court date. And like, there were people fighting with the principal, like
on
my side.
On behalf.
And he was just like, no. And I was like, he was like, you could have been here for at least the first part of the first period. And I was like, why would I ride the bus here to sit here for 20 minutes to then leave and then ride the bus all the way back literally to where I live? Cause I lived by the Lakewood courthouse then. I was like, why would I?
Convenient.
That literally makes no sense.
That's
And he kicked me out, dude. And then,
if a kid wants to fucking go to the dentist, the parents take him out of school.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I was so mad, dude.
And
that's why I graduated a year late.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah. Because then I went back the next year because it was 420. It was literally the end of the year, the last quarter of the year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fourth quarter.
I'm almost done.
Q4.
And then they kicked me the fuck out. And then it took me one semester the next year to get all my credits to fucking graduate.
So you graduated like halfway into the year?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I was so pissed, dude.
And so you did eventually get the diploma.
Yeah.
But damn.
Yeah.
They made you wait.
Yeah.
Did that principal
he
not
got fired.
like you?
I don't know, but when I came back, he was fired. He was
Damn
gone.
right, dude.
And I remember like
You think it was because of you?
I don't know.
I hope so.
But then I do remember like they didn't tell me that I had enough credits for like a couple weeks, I think. And I remember I was just sitting in class.
Into Q3, like all over again?
Yeah, and then I remember I was sitting in class and the principal was like, "Hey, Dylan, we need to talk to you." I was like, "Oh, great." You know what I mean? I'm going to get kicked out. And then they were like, "You actually have all your credits. You're graduate." I was like, "Oh, fuck yeah, dude." Hell yeah. This is way better than what I thought was going to happen.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you're just hanging out.
Yeah.
Still just being a good damn dude.
Yeah.
What do you feel like that was the first time you really like in school, like you got educated?
No. I've definitely had like really good for math. Yeah.
Yeah, you and that one pedophile lady.
Oh yeah, I did have a pedophile lady.
That's pretty sweet.
She was a great teacher.
Yeah.
She actually was like one of my favorite teachers.
That's what you said she made a huge impact.
Yeah.
I remember.
And I think everyone in that class would agree.
Yeah. I mean, she sounds pretty cool.
She was pretty cool.
Sounds like she touched more than just
I wish.
lives.
I wouldn't have complained, but she was a cool lady.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a fun road down your that's crazy. The pinball story that sent you to where you are.
Yeah, I know.
I can't believe you got held back based off of one more absent day. That's such bullshit. If I was that principal, I would have been like, I don't have to worry about you anymore.
I had the one thing I needed, the one excuse. Like I was literally at court.
And then did you go from court to 420?
No, I think I did go to somebody's house.
Yeah,
but like by then school's over.
Yeah,
it's like what am I supposed to do? Like like I showed up the next day with the note from the judge saying I was at court. And they're like, you could have came to first period. And I was like, you were doing an Earth Day all day. Like, what the fuck do I need to come here for 20 minutes just to leave again? Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense, dude. Yeah, dude, they fucked me.
Wow.
Yeah. And I think I was living on my own by then too.
My roommate, he had like a funny thing where he like was told he was gonna get a certain thing and was told he wasn't supposed to like walk across on the stage for graduation, and he did that shit anyways.
Really?
He got to have the whole moment.
Why would you tell someone who actually graduated that they can't walk across the
It's
stage?
gnarly.
That's stupid.
Yeah, super rude. Also, just like for a teacher to not like care. Like any kid that wants something, I just want to give it to them usually.
Yeah.
Like what is taking that away from them? Being like, you didn't earn it.
Yeah, I mean, some kids are shitty, but it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, but even the shitty ones, they just need some help sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just need someone to teach them geometry.
Just some guy to figure out how to graft a triangle.
You know, if Kamala Harris
Yeah.
was your teacher,
She'll make my life better.
imagine the word salad those kids would have been educated with. All right, I want to bring up Halloween.
Okay.
Well, so Frank Castillo wasn't here.
He was
supposed to be here.
He was supposed to be here.
But he isn't. I'm pretty well practiced in Spanish.
Yeah, you know some Spanish.
Castillo in Spanish.
What does it mean? Tell us.
Castle.
It does. You're right.
Frank Castle.
He's the Punisher.
Yeah, dude.
Holy shit, dude. Does Castillo actually mean castle? Damn, you had that ready for him, dude? Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, I had a whole thing prepared.
He asked me if he'll be around tonight, so maybe you'll be able to give it to him later on.
Okay.
But that's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
That's a great gift. The fact that he bailed on us, dude, is sad because that would have been great. That would have been a perfect moment, I think.
There's no way he hasn't heard that 100 times, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember hearing it on any. I mean, what's funny? Like, how can you roast him about that? But
Oh, yeah, I guess. But, I mean, the Spanish Punisher is kind of funny.
yeah. Does it really mean castle?
Yeah.
I mean, I believe you, but
Buddy,
I'm
I am
still
200 and
Oh yeah, you're doing
65 days into Duolingo.
I think I'm gonna do. It does mean castle. I think I think I might do Duolingo.
You could think about how many more women it would open up your windows to, dude.
I want to learn Arabic.
I feel like that would be cool, even just for what it would do to your throat. You probably.
I got it in me already.
And imagine you could start going overseas, like you do a tour.
I'm gonna need to know how to tell people how to leave their house so that I can move into it. You know what I mean? They're gonna have to understand me. So, you know,
you don't want any misconceptions.
Yeah, I don't want them to misunderstand. You know, like the Yucatan Valley thing. You know what I mean? I don't want that. I want it to be clear. Like, I'm Jewish. This is my house now. This is now my daughter's room. It's my birthright.
That's so funny.
Yeah, Abraham got this land for me 6,000 years ago. It's mine.
The idea of that's why you learn.
That's why I'm going to learn Arabic. Yeah, so I can properly kick someone out of their ancestral home.
The app is called Birthright.
I just want to be clear. I'm very pro-Palestinian.
But only the good ones.
Only the Christian ones.
Do you think is it interesting that I think Halloween rules?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I kind of
rocks.
hate Halloween.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I think it's fucking stupid.
In what way?
I just don't. It's a little satanic.
Oh, yeah.
No, I just don't.
But that's definitely the theme of it.
Yeah, it's not. I get it.
Yeah.
I think if maybe I was a little more, if I wasn't such an inward person, you know what I mean, like an introverted person.
Oh,
I think I would maybe enjoy it a little bit more, but I just don't.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I just don't give a fuck. Maybe that's what it is. I just don't really care. I don't know. But if I didn't,
it's not your holiday.
yeah, if I didn't have kids, like I would not
Do anything.
I would not give one single fuck that it's Halloween.
Really?
No.
But those girls love Halloween.
You know, dress like that anyway these days. So what does it matter?
That is true.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's like the goth holiday.
No, there is some cool there is some. I shouldn't say that. You're gonna have to cut that part. But no, I mean, I just don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe like if I think I've gone to like a Twisted did a Halloween concert.
Yeah.
I went to one of those and that was fun.
But you're not into horror movies for sure.
I don't give a fuck about any of that shit, dude.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
Because you love ICP.
Yeah, I love ICP.
Or
yeah.
the dark stuff.
I love dark shit.
But you've never been into
don't
Halloween.
give a fuck about Halloween. Yeah.
Interesting.
Maybe I think it's corny.
That's probably what it is. It's poser for dark shit.
Yeah.
It is like the one night people wear that shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is your reality.
Yeah. This is. Can I do a Bane voice? I was raised in the darkness, or whatever. That was bad.
I think the fact that we get to, I think acting is very gay.
Yeah.
And theater is very gay.
Very gay.
But costumes for Halloween is fun.
Very gay. Oh, yeah.
I guess we disagree on that one.
Yeah.
I think it's fun. Obviously, I mean, I wear costumes. Yeah. I love dressing up and being silly.
Yeah, and I do too. But there's just some. I don't know. I mean, even when I was a kid, I was just like, I don't really.
For some reason, doing it for a performance feels lame.
Yeah.
But doing it for fun, to mock it feels fun for me.
Yeah.
You know, like I've had some pretty rad costumes. I've done Austin Powers. I've done Ozzy Osbourne. And I did Ozzy across the knuckles, and
that's cool. Did you have like a
Prince of Darkness
headless bat?
Yeah, and I had like a cross, and
it
was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, if you get into it, I get why people like it.
Yeah,
but I just don't like. I don't know. It doesn't get me.
I
excited.
love pranking people too.
I like Thanksgiving. You know what
I mean? That's so funny.
Yeah.
It's probably because of the food.
Yeah. It's mashed potatoes and gravy. That's why.
Have you heard of the death grip syndrome?
Death grip syndrome. Is this like something to do with a vagina?
Kind of.
Okay.
It is closely associated with it's also known as the dead vagina theory.
Are you kidding? Are you being serious?
I swear to God,
All
yeah.
right, hell yeah.
The death grip syndrome, it's a thing where like since guys have porn at hand forever and we've just been jerking off so much. There's a theory that men's hands jerking off will be better than any vagina could ever be.
Oh, that's no.
You know, so
that's
you don't
crazy. Yeah. What the fuck? I mean, maybe I've just had some top notch, vaginas, but
top notch snatch.
Yeah, I've had some top notch snatch, but
top
maybe,
shelf.
Yeah, premium. I've had some premium pussy. Maybe that's what it is, but no.
Interesting. I also agree.
I mean, maybe this is just me because of my upbringing, but just the shame associated with it is just enough to.
But you don't think there's a problem with a ton of dudes just being like, why try to even talk to a girl when I could just jerk off 8 times?
You know why they are like that? Because they jerk off 8 times a day. That's why.
Yeah. That's true.
You do it once, and you're like, oh man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You
You're
do
sad.
anything 8 times.
Imagine if you did that 8 times a day, how sad you would be. You think you have any confidence to approach
Oh my
a
God.
grown woman after you've came into your hand
You've
8
lost
times?
everything.
You have
You have nothing in you.
You have a shirt in your bathroom that probably stands straight up. You know what I mean? You think you have the confidence to talk to a woman? They're like, no, they don't. That's why.
You're nervous to type MILF into the computer at that point.
Yeah.
You're like,
They can't even talk to the lady at Taco Bell. You know what I mean? Like, much less. You know what I mean? That's the problem. It's not a chicken or the egg situation. It's a you masturbate 8 times a day.
so it's not the dead vagina theory. It is the death grip syndrome. It's the men building it on themselves.
Death grip.
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I think it's that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's bad.
It's that they are giving themselves too much kung
It is
fu,
bad for
kung
us.
fu action.
It actually is bad for us.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it
can't
makes
be
your
good.
it makes your dick smaller. It's bad for you all the way around.
So, do you subscribe to the NoFap?
I would like to. Yeah, that's what I aspire to. Yeah,
I do
sure.
think if I don't before a set, my set's better.
Yeah, of course it is. What are you talking about? Why are you? And I mean, yeah, no, of course it is. It's 100% better. You're that energy and that liquid.
The fuel.
It has a place to go.
Yeah,
And
the juice.
When you don't put it in its proper place and it's just all over your fucking thigh, you know what I mean? It's fucking, that's shameful. You know? Yeah.
But I meant like a set, like a show.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I know exactly what you meant. You need to go into doing 10 minutes or whatever with no shame.
Oh, totally. And
if you, the shame of
something to prove.
Yeah, and if you fucking jacked off 2 times before that, you know what I mean? Your energy's low.
You're just
You're full of you think you're gross.
You're
you know what I
already
mean?
defeated.
You're already defeated.
Yeah.
I guess subscribe to the death grip theory or whatever.
Yeah. Death grip syndrome.
Yeah, it's not good for
Interesting.
us. Yeah.
Do you think we should be talking about it more?
We should be confronting each other about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think we should? It should be like holding other men accountable of like
About how many times they're masturbating?
Yeah. Hey man, come on.
Hey man,
cut it out. Check in. You know how many times is
fertility rates are low, and there's a reason. Okay, so where do we? if Trump wins, where do we go with the pod? What direction do we take it?
I think we get really hard into
maybe I should put my hand down. I shouldn't just sit here like this.
I think that's the direction we go, unfortunately. Yeah.
Oh no.
I think we gotta grift, and we gotta grift hard.
We gotta grift hard.
Yeah.
We need to get Charlie Kirk on the pod.
Yeah, I think we pretend this is we are under fire from Venezuelans throughout the podcast.
We should do that. You need to add some gun noises.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think we need to really just lean in hard, make all of their greatest
Trump
fears.
Wins, not if Kamala wins.
We'll do like those.
Are we going with whoever we're grifting over to whichever one wins?
Yes, that's what I'm saying for sure.
Okay.
I think that if Trump wins, our next video is us eating a food review at a Haitian restaurant.
Perfect.
And us definitely saying how this is 5 out of 10 cats.
Yeah, okay. All right, that's perfect. And if Kamala wins,
then we go gay.
I don't know about that.
I don't think, based off of all the bi men that I know in the Denver comedy scene, you can still just be with women.
You can just not actually do it.
Actually, most of the bi women that I know in the Denver comedy scene, you could just be with men.
This is probably the most offensive thing we've said.
I'm pretty sure we can just say, what if you came out as a lesbian?
I feel more comfortable coming out as a lesbian than a bi man, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll do the bi thing. You do the lesbian thing.
I'm a lesbian. If Kamala Harris wins.
Yeah, thank God. Yeah. Could you imagine being a lesbian in the Trump presidency?
If Kamala Harris wins, I'm going to stop saying I had a black stepdad. I'm just going to say I had a black dad.
Yes. You got to drop the step for sure.
Yeah. Black dad.
Middle class, black family.
When I was growing up in the middle class.
You might just be able to say you're black.
I'm black. Yeah, I'm an African American. Can't you tell?
Can't you tell? Mama, aren't you proud?
Yeah.
It's a whole different breed, at least from where we were raised. Because Dick Cheney's now on the Democratic side, so we're in a whole different world.
Yeah. Thank God Dick Cheney came on the good side.
I know, right? Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't be the Democratic Party if the woman didn't have a little dick.
Oh wow!
Put that one together.
Yeah, where's Barack? I saw what was it? Oh, I saw that Liz Cheney. Who was it? Liz Cheney said that you shouldn't listen to anything.
Liz Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah. She said you should. I don't know. Her and Lindsey Graham. Maybe this isn't gonna be funny, but her and Lindsey Graham were having a dispute, and one of them said that you shouldn't listen to anything that person says because they're a warmonger. And I was gonna say I don't think you should listen. Do you know Lindsey? You know. Lindsey
Yeah.
I was gonna say I don't think we should listen to what either one of these warmongering lesbians has to say.
You can't have that haircut and have an opinion on this.
Yeah, but it's so crazy to me to like.
I'm going to close the window real quick.
Okay, yeah. I mean, we did want the sounds of Venezuelan migrants.
So we're hearing hard work.
Yeah. Hard work is occurring right outside the window. Yes. Oh, I was like, that's the wrong way, but it's clearly not. What were we talking about?
Lindsey Graham.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy to me
Graham
that,
cracker.
like, as someone who... Like I was born into definitely a conservative family, definitely was a conservative like that's the way I thought was correct until a certain time in my life, and to see that like
It's awesome to hear you talk about those stories too.
Yeah.
Of like that veil being broken of
Yeah.
you're like, holy shit, this is all I've ever known, and there is so many other ways of
yeah.
governing and being human to people.
So to have gone from that, and for one of the reasons why I allowed myself to become maybe more left leaning is because of how absolutely evil George Bush and Dick Cheney were.
That entire
To now just see we're at a place where the people who I thought were like liberals were like, Dick Cheney is on our side. It's like that. What? Like,
it's insane.
you not only did you say all the same things about Dick Cheney that you're saying about Trump right now 10 years ago, Dick Cheney actually did the things you're accusing Trump. Dick Cheney is actually, and Bill Kristol and all these, they're actually responsible for the deaths of millions in Iraq. They're actually responsible for censorship.
They
They're actually responsible
are on
for
record.
Surveillance, mass surveillance across America.
and both parties accept this.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like a questionable thing
Yeah.
10 years ago of, is this a bad guy?
Right.
Do we not like this
6
guy?
months ago, he was.
While he was VP,
Satan.
while
Yeah,
he
yeah,
was in charge.
Yeah. Doesn't make sense to me. Like,
You know, it feels like, okay, so because it's like a lot of characters that we have heard about in the past that are coming back.
Yeah, but what
Right?
it's showing is, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, keep going.
But I think what it's showing is like, you know, a conspiracy theorist would talk about how it's really all just one party. And now you're seeing, oh, Dick Cheney and Kamala Harris actually are on the same. It is one party.
Yeah,
Like,
to see that.
actually, they might disagree publicly, but behind the scenes, they're all working towards the same goals.
The system.
Not that makes Donald Trump a good person.
No,
That's not what I'm saying.
never.
He's probably, if anything, he's probably
Hitler.
no. What's the word? Not a psyop, but
Jesus.
Christ. But he's like a psyop, like I guess it is a psyop. He's what
A
is
plant?
it? No,
Industry plant?
not counter
Counterintelligence?
something.
Anti-propaganda?
No. He's just a figure that is to make you believe that there's someone against the system. You know what I mean? But actually, he's still just a piece.
Oh, like a false
yeah. I can't remember
false
what the word is, and it's
idol.
dang. We lost by 5. Fuck.
All right, my last thing.
Yeah.
So the new Black Ops just dropped.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The
Black
video
Ops
game,
Call of Duty.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Black Ops 6.
Yeah.
And
it's not Saddam Hussein, isn't it?
really,
Yeah.
he makes a cameo.
He got to kill him or something. I don't know.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, but I saw video game Saddam running in a hallway.
Is he wearing camo in his cameo?
No, he's in a suit.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
They did my boy right. I think these games,
Yeah.
It's wild that they're coming out, obviously, while we're engaging in.
Well, it's to make us used to it. It's to make us okay. That's why there's so much.
There's always been war games. And
Well,
there's always been war
okay.
movies. There's always been
the idea of like.
No, I don't think it's a purpose.
The idea of flooding culture with dystopian movies and movies about mass surveillance and movies about aliens coming and movies about war. And
I think culture
world-ending wars.
replicates the art more than the art replicates the culture.
Yeah,
Or
I think. I mean, it's known that Hollywood is. I mean,
create stuff
in bed with intelligence communities.
I agree for sure.
I think a lot of it is pushed out in a way to make us comfortable with the idea of these things being how life is.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
I do think that like it is wild to allow it, but I don't think like a movie about serial killers is because they want more.
I'm not talking about I'm talking about like Hunger Games style movies where
The Hunger Games was a book. It's not like that
Sure,
author
but that
was
doesn't-
told by Hollywood to.
we don't know,
Or they chose that one. It was
Yeah.
already a very successful series.
Yeah, but look, I think that
Or like Harry Potter. I don't know. But what I'm saying is,
I'm talking about a very specific genre of like.
I totally.
Yeah.
I get that when it comes to. Honestly, the thing that bugs me is like the whole. The one that gives me the heebie-jeebies and honestly pisses me off is what I was talking about earlier about like teens having sex in movies all the time.
Yeah.
Like. Even just like kids talking about sex, it's very like normal for like kids to be even somewhat sexualized. It's pisses me off.
Yeah,
I don't like it. Yeah. And so like that's what I meant earlier by like, why are we watching this? Right. Why is horror movies doing this to me?
Yeah.
And that's where I was like, I mean, I can kind of feel where you're saying where like they make us desensitized. It's like aggressive shit. But even when I said that, you were like, no, not those types of movies. I'm talking about like Soylent Green. And
Well, like 1984. Like,
or Her. Like they want us to get used to AI as our girlfriends and not need, it's normal if we can go, oh, well, it's like that movie, Her, instead of us for the first person to have an AI girlfriend. It's not as weird.
Yeah.
You know what I think? That's how they're doing the assassination attempts. I think
With
there's
AI?
two. No, I think there's two misses so that the third one isn't as insane because they go, well, look, there's been two already. Is it that surprising?
Yeah,
but if it happened on the first one, it would be insane riot immediately. But I think because it'll be the third or fourth or whatever, I think they are going to have a map of like, well, look, there's been all these examples of people doing it. Is it that surprising that
that's
it happened?
the thing when it
and they got
comes-
so close, right?
Yeah.
They got so close this time.
Yeah.
This time they got super close.
Yeah.
Well, of course, they finally made it happen. They've touched them before.
Yeah.
That's what I think is like a, damn, this is all making us feel comfortable with.
See, if you're a real conspiracy theorist, right? If you're really in the shit, I feel like because there's a lot of like the QAnon type of people or whatever who they still
Quizno heads.
They think that Trump is just like he's the savior. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But to me, if you're really a conspiracy theorist, right, the fact that he even was elected as president should be like a big red flag of like, well, if we believe what we've been saying we believed for 60 years, obviously they let him be president. You know what I mean? Like, and if we believe what we say we've been believing since JFK, like, no, if they wanted him to be dead, he'd be fucking dead. Like,
there wouldn't be two attempts that were missed.
Unless there is like some legitimate like divine interference.
Yeah.
He would be dead.
For sure, exactly.
And if there is divine interference, then we need to fucking choose better who we vote for. But you know what I mean? But like, if they wanted him dead, he'd be fucking dead. And I feel
Seriously.
like if you were really a conspiracy theorist, like, there's certain things that happen with Trump where you're like, all right, dude, like you've crossed the line that if you were really saying what you're about, or what people believe that you're about, you wouldn't be able to be here.
No, I totally agree.
Yeah.
The fact that he is in bed with even just like international stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like if you were against the world order, you would be like, oh, the way that he is pretending to be this beacon of peace between him and he's going to make relations between the United States and all of these adversaries just instantly calm.
Yeah.
That's not what would really happen.
No, they would take him out.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Or a real savior wouldn't be like, everything's good now.
He wouldn't say, you know, John Bolton, he's a fucking whack job, and when I bring him with me, they think I'm going to blow up their country, so shit works out.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, and even now, he's already said that he's going to put Mike Pompeo back in as that's fucking insane. What, dude? You literally learned nothing from
Seriously.
your previous administration.
Plus, Pompeo's the guy that erupted the volcano, right?
Yeah, he killed all those people, all those innocent ancient Greeks. He did a cannonball into it, an extinct volcano, and fucking killed all those people.
And now, because of that, they won't let the JFK files come out.
I think Brutus killed JFK. All right. That was Rome.
Stabbed him in the back of his head.
All right. That's good. Yours was better.
I think I had at least one more thing.
That's fine. Let's do it.
Just
there's
Black Ops, the new video game.
Yeah.
I think because it's insensitive with all the war stuff, I think we need to drop the whole war shit, and we can keep it aggressive. We can keep it, but we need to keep it in this country. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think we need like Call of Duty,
Civil War,
Black Friday,
and
it's just like
kind of a civil war.
Exactly. And you're destroying at least
to the TV first.
And what's more American?
It's not really a thing anymore.
Yeah, I guess
the internet's kind of killed it.
But that would be a nostalgic factor, at least. You know what I mean? It would bring us back. We kind of remember, and it's
Make
better
us
to
feel
simulate
good
it
again.
in a game than actually do it. It's all the reasons why people love war video games and war movies.
Yeah,
we can have just as many people dying. Probably. I mean, a lot of people died.
Yes, got stomped on.
Yeah. And I just think it would be a little more like humble.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, hey, let's enjoy our own bullshit,
right?
Instead of, you know, some international.
What are
war
some
right
other
now.
American games based on the struggle? You know, the real. I mean, here in America, we've really had it hard.
Yeah,
compared to places like, Sudan.
Oh, it's like but like you could have like
they don't even have malls in Libya. They don't know our struggle.
I couldn't imagine life without having been to a Walmart.
Yeah, dude. What do they got? Slave trades? What's the big deal?
Imagine you go to Walmart and there's slaves.
Hillary Clinton gave them that. It must be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what they wanted, right? They got rid of. Okay.
I think if we had, what about like Sims?
Yeah.
What if you had like gentrification?
The game.
Yes, exactly. And you
go
into
Sims
like
it's kind of like you are gentrifying neighborhoods.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like you find a couple interesting people that are uneducated,
Yeah.
and then you have them paint all the cool murals.
I see what you're saying. That's a weird way to put it. But do they use spray paint?
This is how gentrification works.
Yeah.
It's like then there's people who are overly educated who come in and literally do things like Rhino and build an art district where like places that were for stabbing before are now for like pop-up breweries.
Yoga.
Exactly.
Yeah, go yoga.
And I think that gentrification, the video game, would be such more American.
Like the roller coaster game.
Exactly, like Sims. You know, you go in and you've just completely
gentrification nation.
It's like civilization, but gentrification
nation. Yeah, yeah.
That would be cool. What are some other American video games? A for American instead of E for everyone. It's A for American.
Yeah. There's got to be some fast food stuff.
What about like it's like a find it, like a hunt, like a like a seeking game. It's like Minesweeper.
Yeah.
But you're doing it with statutory
rape.
Yeah, like the age of consent.
No, I don't like this. I like the fast food thing better.
Okay. What if it's like a food? There's got to be a food.
What if it's like Buck Hunter?
Yeah,
but instead it's like fucking. It's like
you're in a clock tower.
You're you're still out in the wild, but instead of like bucks, it's like a fucking McDouble. I don't know. Or like what about like
the Kyle Rittenhouse, the video game?
Kyle Rittenhouse, yeah.
Instead of Buck Hunter,
you gotta get to the state line within 15 minutes or you lose.
It's a driving video game.
Yeah.
That's good.
The first part is driving because you gotta cross state lines.
Yeah.
Or what else?
There's got to be one that's like the Aurora apartment.
Yeah, you gotta
have to get out.
You gotta defend your apartment.
Oh, it's like the zombie.
Yeah,
levels.
But instead of zombies, it's Venezuelans.
And at the end, you just have to give them rent.
At the end,
if you die.
Yeah, at the end, you wind up at a 7-Eleven that for some reason has a shawarma restaurant in it.
All right, we got one more.
All right.
What about? Okay, I got this one.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a fantasy draft. Like you're accumulating like a NCAA team.
Yeah.
But it's all like for welfare. So you like bring in certain children. Of certain
classes.
Yeah, that'll perform well on your draft. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
On your team.
Yeah.
And see if you can get the most points.
That's kind of already what college is.
Instead of the NFL, it's EBT.
Yeah. Wow. I have an EBT card. It's quite useful, actually. In this day and age, in this economy.
In Biden's America.
Yeah.
Check out Roast Battle Denver.
Mm-hmm.
Check out everything under Slaughterhouse Studios. We've got a ton of live shows that we record, like Punchline Jeopardy, but we also have a ton of podcasts. Recreational Outrage has a plethora of past episodes, and we really didn't start putting them on there until we recorded with footage.
Yeah.
So if you want to listen to like way older episodes, we've got them all audio only on the Slaughterhouse Studios Spotify. That's always fun to listen to. I go back all the time and I'll listen to, even if it's somebody who will be a guest on again.
Yeah.
A guest on. What if we had guest on the pod?
I don't think he's my kind of guy.
Yeah, I can see that.
More of a beast guy.
100%.
Yeah.
I definitely recommend listening. If you're a fan of Denver comedy, we have done a very good job, in my opinion, of capturing a lot of these cool ass people.
Yeah.
And it is cool.
Some not cool ones.
Yeah. I mean, that's also what's awesome about the podcast is like, it's all out there and permanent.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in us hanging out with people that we definitely don't talk to now, that episode is there.
Thank God.
I know. But also, who knows, like the people that...
Also, we should say this since we're talking about the history of our podcast. Let's see. Our podcast, I believe, whether they're officially together or whatever, our podcast, I think, 3 of 3 people who have came onto this podcast with some kind of relationship no longer have that relationship.
Really?
Yeah. 3. Yeah.
Yeah, we are not good.
Yeah. Don't come on our podcast with someone you love.
Or what if that's where we go after the election?
Break people up.
We're Jerry Springer.
That's a good
replacements.
idea. Yeah.
What if we did bring in some bad relationships?
Try and fix them.
Yeah.
Or antagonize them.
Or we find a couple that's like, I want to break up with her, but I don't know how to do it.
Do it on the pod.
Yeah.
That's content.
It might be very interesting.
Yeah. Maybe that's a sign.
I think we could get into relationship chaos. Like, what if we did cheaters? Like, what if we like broke down, like we catfished some women?
One of the first times I hung out with my ex-wife when we were in high school, we watched Cheaters for probably 4 hours, and I feel like that should have been a sign. She was like, "Wow, wouldn't this be exciting if this happened?" Yeah, and you were like, "This is my nightmare." Yeah, and it was.
Do you want to plug?
Yeah. So let's see. November 14th. I should double check.
Pull it on up.
Look at that. That's cool. My phone's dying. My phone is slowly dying. November 14th, I believe. I'm doing the Improv Tonight show. So I don't know who else is going to be on it, but I'm doing 20 minutes. So
that's awesome.
I'm excited for that. So that's November 14th. There'll be a promo code eventually.
I think that's a cool showcase. I'm glad that they're doing that.
Yeah, me too.
Putting up local people.
Yeah, it'd be nice if more clubs did it.
Yeah.
So I'll be at the Improv November 14th. Cloudy Eyed Comedy, or every second and fourth Fridays at Spirit Hound. Every third Friday at the Coffee Joint, just confirmed through 2025 as well. So I'm staying at the coffee joint.
Nice.
Yeah. So check that out. Check out Cloudy Eyed Comedy. And then we're doing a live pod December 14th at Wide Right. We're going to be like one of the last things that they do.
Yeah. If you want to send off,
which is an honor, but
yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you want to send off Wide Right,
yeah,
we're going to be one of the people trying to capture its last remaining moments. We've done so much there.
Yeah.
I think it's a big loss.
One of the first mics I ever did and the first official headlining spot I ever had.
God damn.
So
first like spot I started making money off of sound effects. That's for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's where I started to hone those skills.
Yeah.
And I definitely had a good performance the other night, and that made me happy.
Yeah, it was a good time.
I think I've learned a lot at Wide Right.
Yeah, same.
It's been a place that's fostered a lot of comedy.
And
I can
remember a time where I felt a little. I kind of maybe hated it a little bit, and I'm not really. I don't remember why, but
going up there sucks.
Yeah.
Being there rocks.
Yeah.
Going up there sucks.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
Of why it might not be around forever.
Yeah.
And we know it's not. The fact that we are doing something December 14th, it's going to be a
White Elephant Party, which means bring a present. Everyone who brings a present will get to participate. We'll probably have few extras. But if you don't know what a White Elephant Party is,
we'll explain it at the show. December 14th.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And even if you're lucky, we might even I think Big Mike's going to be there, so it's going to be a Black Elephant Party too.
Goodbye.